What's up, everybody? Today we're going to take the 1966 Triumph Bonneville out for a ride. Stay tuned. Here we are back on Dad's bike, the 1966 Triumph Bonneville. Now I've been riding the 2005 Harley-Davidson Dyna Super Glide for pretty much every day for the past month, and just trying to do some shakedown miles on it. So it's been a hot minute since I've jumped on the Triumph. And you know what? We're gonna count today how many times that I jack up the shifting and braking on my feet being backwards, because I've been riding that other bike, that newer bike. But almost right away, I am missing the fuel injection. Number one, just a little bit better performance and pep to fuel injected bikes. And second, man, I am really missing a 5-speed transmission. Now I know many of you guys are riding 6-speed transmissions, but the 2005 Dyna that I have, it's only got the 5-speed. But this 1966 Triumph Bonneville only has 4-speed. And I tell you what, immediately you are wanting that extra gear, because when you get up to 4th gear, you're just kind of buzzing at speed. There's nothing past it, and you just kind of have to grit it and bear it. But what's cool about it is, man, these Triumphs are so light and nimble. When I get on these things, I just want to like ride them like there's nobody's business, and they're great bikes for that. You know, you can get on them and really be nimble and check out the traction and turns and everything. So that's what I love about Triumphs. A lot of people ask me, you know, why do you ride these old bikes? Why do you ride these Triumphs? And I just think there's something unique about the performance of machines from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that set the pathway for what we have today. So it's nice to go back and experience those things and push them to their limits, because riding a new bike, there's so many more advancements in suspension and gearing and motors and carburation and fuel injection that you just definitely appreciate, and you learn to take advantage of it. So what we're doing today is kicking our brains back to 1966 and the engineering of the Triumph Bonneville. So some other things that are unique about these old Triumphs is that they are carbureted, and there's 2 carburetors on there. They run the Amel concentric 930 carburetors, which you have to tickle. It's just like priming your weed eater when you go to start it. Second thing is that these bikes run off of a points ignition. If you don't know what a points ignition is, go back, watch one of our videos. We had some stuff talking about ignition systems. You can see more information on that. Another thing is that the clutch is a cable operated clutch. Now, majority of bikes nowadays have transitioned over to a hydraulic clutch, but you can still find the cable operated clutches, which just means it takes a little bit more grip power. And specifically for this particular bike, I have racing clutches in it, and it's a pretty stiff pull on the clutch. See, it's something you got to get used to. Another thing, no blinkers on these bikes. It's what the good old hands are for. Use your hands, show your turn signals, let people know ahead of time. With this particular bike, no mirrors on it. There was none on it when it came from the factory, so I'm trying to keep it as original as possible. So no mirrors, so you really have to keep your head on a swivel, watching what's going on around you, what's going on behind you. You have to be comfortable enough to turn around on your motorcycle and look at the cars behind you without running into something in front of you. So, just something to think about whenever you're considering getting an old vintage motorcycle is how much do you want to keep it period correct, and how much new options do you want to add to the motorcycle. So, we are actually doing something very special today. If you're watching this video on the premiere, today is Father's Day, and dads hold such a special place in my heart. The men in my life who have fathered me have done some amazing things. The sacrifices that they made, not only for themselves but also for their families and for their country, is just mind-boggling, and I am honored to call these men fathers. Unfortunately, the only father that I have left in this world is my father-in-law, and that's not unfortunate. Tim is a great man, Tim Parker. He is you know, a father of 3 children, a husband who has sacrificed his whole life to care and provide for them. And Tim is just an outstanding man. Funny story is that Tim and my dad were best friends all the way through high school, and I've heard many stories of these guys doing some crazy shenanigans on motorcycles, out partying, having fun. But Tim is still, it's still just a great blessing to have him in my life, to be able to have conversations with him. We share many interests the same. We love music. We're both musicians, play guitar, play bass, play multiple instruments. We love motorcycles. We love old cars, and we just love life. So it's a blessing to Tim to be a part of my life, and I just wanted to say Happy Father's Day to him today. The other man I want to go talk about today, we're going to flash way back, is my grandfather, and his name is James Weems. He was born in November of 1928. This is a man who grew up poor, didn't have a whole lot of resources in his life, and decided to join the United States Air Force at the age of 17, where he forged his parents' signature so that he can join. And he ended up joining the Air Force, did many jobs in the Air Force. He was a photographer, he was a machinist, he was a boat repairman. Believe it or not, in the Air Force they do have boats. But he joined right during World War II and served his country. Did 20 years in the United States Air Force, retired in 1969, and moved to Florida. Well, he was actually stationed at Homestead Air Force Base in Florida. And when he got out, he decided to keep paying it forward in life, and decided to go to work for a local prison where he taught a small engine repair course. Now, in this small engine repair course, there was a lot of guys who were part of the motorcycle clubs who had been arrested for nefarious, you know, things that they have done. And my grandfather was teaching these men how to repair small motors. And through that, he had the opportunity to start building choppers in the prison, so that a lot of these guys who were into motorcycles could use their skills, could use their resources, and continue to have their passion even while in prison. And as you see here on the screen, there's a few pictures of some of those motorcycles that they built. Just really cool that he did that. He had a love of motorcycles. I have a picture of him that's coming up right here, of him and my grandmother. When he came home from World War II, he bought a brand new 1948 Harley-Davidson flathead. And man, this photo is just something that I cherish and I really love. It's you know, to me, it's the beginning of Weems Motor Co. And all of his passion. He continued to ride motorcycles, gosh, up until his later life, and just a great blessing to have him as a grandfather. He was my mentor as a mechanic, as a machinist. I remember being a young kid and working in his shop and seeing this guy sit and rewind a coil for a motor in a car. And I asked him, I called him Pawpaw. I said, Pawpaw, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm rewinding this coil. And I'm like, thinking in my, probably 12-year-old head was, that coil can't cost any more than $5 or $10. Why is he doing this? But it was because he came from a generation growing up through the Depression where they did not have resources and didn't have money. But this guy would rewind that coil, and I seen him put it in the vehicle, and it worked. That kind of thing, those kind of things is just what inspires me as a builder, as a machinist. And I thank God for him being in my life and mentoring me as a grandfather. The last man I want to talk about is my dad. His name is Mike Weems. We lost him a few years back, and just a great dad who cared for us, me and my brother, who taught us about motorcycles, who swatted us away when we were messing with his motorcycles. The earliest memory and stories that I hear so fondly is from my mother saying that my dad had this 1949 Triumph, and he was gone to work that day, and while he was at work, I decided to take his tools out and start taking parts off of his motorcycle, off of his Triumph. And he came home, and both my mom and my brother can tell this story probably better than me because I barely remember it. But they said when Dad opened the door to our house that I looked up at him and I just made a beeline for the back door, scared because I had messed with my dad's bike. But that's what inspired me through Triumphs. Everybody asks, why Triumphs? Why Triumphs? Well, that's the very first motorcycle that I remember in my life was my dad's 1949 Triumph. It's a little bobber, a little stripped down, nothing spectacular, but just a really cool bike, a little pre-unit Triumph. So that's what inspired me. My dad also bought me my very first street motorcycle, which was a 1972 Triumph Bonneville. And he did that as a gift while I was deployed in Iraq. I came home and he had that motorcycle for me. So just a great father. And today I'm going to do something to honor him. And I wanted you guys to join with me, be part of this video today. So the plan is I'm heading up here to Atomic Tattoos. My good friend Anna is, she's been tattooing for a few years now. She done some tattoo work on me before. But I asked her, said, hey, I'd like to do a memorial tattoo for my dad today. And I wanted to see if we could let you guys here on YouTube join with us as I get my tattoo in memory of my dad on Father's Day.
amazing time here at Atomic Tattoo in Brandon, Florida. My great friend, known her forever. She doesn't want me to tell you like how long I've known her, but she didn't have any tattoos when I met her originally. So Anna, come check her out here at Atomic Tattoo in Brandon. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Awesome time at Atomic with my good friend Anna. And if you guys wondering what's the significance of 1956, that would be the year that my dad was born. So a little bit of history on Father's Day. It was actually began in 1910 by a lady known as Mrs. Smalls. And she was raised by a single father who was a Civil War vet. And that father raised 6 children all by himself. And every year she would see that there was a celebration for mothers and what they've done. And mothers are amazing. But she just felt that, you know, she never had a mother. Her mother passed away when she was younger. So she wanted to honor her father and began the tradition of Father's Day in 1910. Originally, she wanted to set it as June 5th, June 5th, because that was her father's birthday. And when it finally became a national holiday in 1972, they made the decision to set it as the 3rd Sunday in June. And that's what we've known Father's Day to traditionally be now, as the 3rd Sunday in June. So today, take the opportunity, if you have your father with you, go ahead, call him. Tell him what he means to you. Thank him for all of the cool things, because there's going to come a day where you no longer have your father with you and you just have his memories. Hopefully you have their motorcycle and you can go get a cool tattoo like I did today, just to constantly remind you of the person who helped raise you and turn you into the human being that you are today. So happy Father's Day to all of the fathers who are watching this. God bless. So Flip and I are gonna go grab some lunch. Gonna go hit up some Three Bulls. In Spanish, that would be Tres Toros. Beer and tacos.
What?
Cerveza y tacos.
Margarita and taco.
You gonna rev bomb me like Harley guys do? That's what you're supposed to do on a Harley, right? Such a cool bike. If you haven't checked it out.
Why Harleys do that, right? Because their bikes suck so much, they need to keep the engine going and keep your motor.
It's to keep the bike running.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Like, check out the bike.
He did it! You did it! I'm not gonna do that on a Triumph. No. Triumph is a gentleman's motorcycle. So you heard that right. Flip and I are gonna go to a local place. Amazing food. It's called Three Bulls. They do brew their own beer. Got some amazing food there. We're gonna talk about our upcoming trip this summer to Born Free out in LA. Talk about some of the hot spots we're going to check out, some of the places we're going to go see, do some sightseeing. So we're going to grab some grub. Yeah, I just totally did the brake instead of the downshift. That's what you get when you don't ride a Triumph for a while.
Flip. Margaritas and tacos?
Absolutely, that's why we're here.
Let's do it. No! I got a place. So much to Flip's excitement, we made it to a place that serves Cuban sandwiches, the sandwich Tampa is known for.
Not Miami, Tampa.
Tampa. Yes. The Talking Pint. So what better opportunity than a video made for Father's Day that you grab not your father's root beer. Cheers. Amazing. Alright, so if you guys haven't been following Flip over on his channel, you are doing the wrong thing. So head over there to his channel right here, follow him up. But if you've noticed, if you have followed him, over the last few months, he's been riding a Harley-Davidson Softail loaned to him by Bert's Harley-Davidson. How long have you had it?
A while.
A while. So what we're going to do is he's going to be giving that motorcycle graciously back to Bert's, and this is the last
Begrudgingly back to Bert's.
Begrudgingly, okay. This is going to be the last opportunity I have to ride it. So I'm going to take it out for a ride while Flip rides Dad's bike, the 66 Bonneville. It's going to be a fun little ride. I don't know. It's another Harley, so we'll figure out if I actually like it or not. We'll see. We're going to go ride some motorcycles again. Flip's going to jump on this thing. Let's see if he can get it started up.
My arch nemesis, the Kickstart.
The Kickstart. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, I believe in you.
I don't.
Oh, one kick, nailed it. Flip, what'd you think comparing the Harley to the Triumph? I know the Triumph looks way cooler. I mean, that's a given. So it's probably the furthest you've ridden the Triumph, right?
That one, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's way cooler in corners because you're way less sure it's gonna make it.
Mm-hmm. You want to push it to its limits kind of thing?
No, you don't want to push it to its limits.
I was the same thing on the Harley. I was like, okay, this is a pretty heavy bike. If I lean too far, it might actually fall over.
Yeah, but it's a brand new motorcycle. You know, everyth's been done to it. It's not gonna stall out if you like do something weird.
Like,
you know, brand new tires.
Well, there's brand new tires on that Triumph.
Well, your Triumphs also have old tires, okay? So I don't know which ones has new ones.
Old tread patterns and stuff like that. Yeah.
Whatever. Just taking it into the corner is slightly more sketchy, which means it's kind of cool.
That's fine, right? Yeah. It makes, when I get on them, it makes me want to push it to its limits. You want that extra gear though, don't you? It didn't bother you? The vibration in the hands and everything?
Oh, the vibration in the hand, yeah, that felt awful. It's like, hey, you got fractures and a lot of arthritis in there.
Oh yeah, that's not going to be the bike for him. Well guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All it does is helps us out and it gets you informed of what's coming on here at Weems Motor Co. Turn those notifications on and let everyone know what's going on right here at Weems Motor Co. Peace.